guys, welcome to another episode of Conspiracy Crypto. I'm your host, Tobias Brown. How are you all doing today? The market's taken a massive tumble, as we can see. As far as I know and as far as I understand it, this is mass manipulation. It's basically people selling, and it's not just people, it's people in the know, selling at the top, buying back lower, to wreck everybody else. It was to flush out people who were actually trading on crypto. But look, this isn't what I want to get into today. What I want to get into is what's happening, and this is urgent news, okay? I think, and it's not just me, a lot of other analysts are thinking that XRP is about to do something absolutely out of this world. And, you know, we can sit here and talk about the lawsuit, we can sit in here and talk about everything that's happening with Ripple, but what I want to get into is what's coming for you, me, and the rest of the world, and that is this new global financial, how can I put it, system. This is what's going to happen. It's a brand new system that's coming right now to your doorstep and will change your life, whether you like it or not. Now, a lot of people have called this conspiracy, tinfoil hat stuff. Guys, I'll lay it on the table. I've been a conspiracy theorist since 2012 and long before that, okay? I've known a lot of stuff's going to happen. I'm not going to say I knew 9/11 was going to happen. Not many people did, but I have called a lot of things. And one of the places I get a lot of my information from are these guys, but especially if I'm doing something financial. These guys have predicted a lot of things. Now, I had this I wasn't even going to make this video. I had this in my email the other day, and I was just reading through it, and it just fitted so well with XRP and the narrative of what's actually happening that I had to share it with you. So these guys have actually predicted 9/11, the fall of the Soviet Union, President Trump's election victory, and tons of other stuff. Now, I've used them in the past, and I've actually bought their newsletter. I'm not going to say go and buy their newsletter, but you know, if you want to, you can. But yeah, I bought their newsletter, and I bought it because I was interested in marijuana stock. And I bought it, and I found out about a few companies, and I bought those companies, and they were probably about 500x on my money. So very, very good guys. They know what they're talking about, and they've been doing the research, okay? They're called Casey Research. But what they want to talk about, and what this email was about, was exactly what's happening with the US government and what's going to go into effect as a result of what's happening. So right now, as we all know, the government is printing trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in stimulus money. Okay, now this is effectively a communist-style takeover. They don't want you to work. They want you to sit at home and get your stimulus check and rely on the government. That's what's happening. But it's worse than that, okay? Right now, the governments around the world are planning something which could make you and me either a lot of money or very, very, very poor and absolutely dependent on the system. Now, through the network of connections that they actually have a copy of a bill that was sent through Parliament, or the Congress, I should say, which sets to benefit the Clinton Foundation, the UN, the IMF, and the Federal Reserve, and even Bill Gates. So all of these people are involved in all this. And what it is basically this. They are getting rid of cash. Cash is going to go. We are going to have a digital economy. There will be a digital dollar, whether you like it or not. There will be a digital yuan. There will be a digital drachma. There will be a digital pound. There will be digital everything. And look at this. Microsoft has already been patenting stuff. But anyway, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going to show you a bit more about this and actually read some of it. Okay? Dozens of US corporations, banks, and power brokers are scrambling to prepare for what's coming next. Some, like McDonald's, Disney, Share Snacks, Starbucks, Whole Foods, Chick-fil-A, Amazon brick-and-mortar go stores have already implemented the first step. Maybe you've seen signs like this. No cash. No cash. Only payment by credit card, okay? Gift cards, credit card or debit card, nothing else. Now, what this means is, once cash is gone, anonymity is gone. You will not be anonymous anymore. You will have all the information. Anything you buy will become public knowledge or knowledge to the government, which is even more scary. So say you go into a store and you buy something that is on their banned list. Well, like China with their social credit score system, you are going to suffer, okay? This is what Bill Gates wrote. When historians write the book on COVID-19, what we've lived through so far will probably take up only the first third or so. The bulk of the story will be what happens next. Well, what happens next, Bill? Well, what happens next, guys, is they are going to destroy the dollar. The dollar is being devalued as we speak, okay? But this isn't the first time this has happened. They have been systematically planning the collapse of America and the dollar for a very long time. The first shock happened in 1907. JP Morgan and co. came together to, quote unquote, save the financial system. And how did they save the financial system? They established the Fed. The Fed is about as federal as Federal Express. They have nothing to do with the US government. They are a private organization of bankers. And they control the country's money supply. Okay? The Federal Reserve System prints dollars at debt to every American or every British person or everybody, especially in America for the Federal Reserve. But the British, we have our own version. But every dollar produced is debt to the American people, which has to be paid back. Why do you think that's a ridiculous debt clock? Who do we owe that money to? We owe that money to the bankers, and the bankers want to collect. Okay? So right now, they are printing the dollar out of existence. The purchasing power of the dollar dropped by 96% with the stroke of a pen. Okay? Disgusting. Well, that's exactly what's happening. So your dollar is now worth bugger all. Now, Woodrow Wilson, actually for campaign support, signed in the Federal Reserve Act. And it was his biggest regret that he did this. So I'm the most unhappy man. I've unwittingly ruined my country. No longer a government by free opinion, no longer a government by conviction and the vote of the majority, but a government by the opinion and duress of a small group of dominant men. So do you think for 1 second that the election was actually real? It was a real election, but, make your own mind up on how this statement corresponds to what happened in America, Trump v. Biden, right? Make your own ideas up on that. 1933, the stock market plummeted 80%. Unemployment soared as a construction manufacturing ground to a halt. Once again, connected insiders rode to the rescue, used their crises to the advantage. Right, there's something called the Hegelian dialect. It says problem, reaction, solution. Problem. Oh, there's a crash, stock market crash, which was manipulated. Reaction. Oh, well, we might be able to sort this out. Solution. They bring in their solution to sort out the problem. And the solution? Here we go. The solution was they're going to confiscate all your gold. Under executive order of the president, all persons are required to deliver on or before May the 1st, 1933, all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates. Now, what's going to stop them doing that again, guys? I know people think gold is a safe haven. I like gold, always have. But they can do things like this. Yeah? Liberty, my ass. So with this one single stroke of a pen on this time in 1933, the Federal Reserve Bank snatched more than 30 million worth of gold, almost 600 million in today's value, in one day. Each ounce was swapped for $20.67 in paper money. Failure to comply would result in a massive $10,000 fine or jail time. And once the government had its hands on the gold, it changed the price to $35 an ounce, effectively stealing 69% of Americans' savings. And as it says, do you see a pattern here? Well, yes, obviously. Well, now, the third shock happened. In 1971, Nixon addressed the nation, primetime TV, and told them, in an effort to stabilize, quote-unquote, the dollar, it would no longer be backed up by gold. So the dollar coin is the dollar currency is no longer backed by gold. So you cannot convert your dollar into gold. Before this point, you could. Now you can't. And this, in Nixon's words, was to stabilize the dollar. It had the exact opposite effect. Okay? Just to give you an example, at that time, the average American had to work about 800 hours to afford a new pickup truck, a Ford pickup. 800 hours. Now, to buy an F-150, average pay, this is 2018, you'd have to work ridiculous hours, okay? You'd be looking at, 1,600 hours in order to buy the same item. And in terms of buying a house, well, there you go. You can see it for yourself. There was a slight drop here, 2015. That was, the housing crash on 2008. There's the crash. But even now, it's even higher than this. You're starting to see the pattern here. Household debt completely risen because people, by cutting the currency loose from gold and officially converting the US dollar to a fiat currency, Nixon essentially allowed the Federal Reserve to throttle up the printing press and accelerate the expansion of the money supply. The more money they print, the more worthless the dollar is. A problem that still continues to this day. Well, it continues a lot more than that, okay? The more of something that exists in the world, the less it's worth. And here you go. These are trillions of new dollars. It's 2020. Wow. Ridiculous. They are absolutely throttling this. And a single dollar spending power has fallen by 96% over the past 100 years or so. Okay? And now that's caused things for us. I mean, we've adjusted as people. We've adjusted. In the 1980s and 1990s, we levered up with debt. But look at this, women in the workplace. So we're talking 1966, only 13% of women worked. Now half the population of women works. Now I don't see anything wrong with women working. I've got nothing against women working. But those of them that wanted to be homemakers, stay at home and look after kids, they don't have that choice anymore. Because we need the money because the power of our currencies is falling. And public debt has soared because people have been borrowing their way out of one crisis to another crisis. I mean, when I actually look at it, the middle class, the bottom class, most Americans haven't got, if there was, something that they needed, the car broke down and it cost $600 to fix it, they wouldn't have that $600 to fix it. Okay? Right? It's shocking. But what's coming next is this, and this is what I want you to see. So the fourth financial crisis, or the fourth attack on our wealth, is through here. Okay? Here's the document they did not want you to see. So this is a bill that was going to be passed through, so it's submitted by Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Problem, reaction, solution. On March the 23rd, 2020, Pelosi's draft was leaked to the public. But then in a flash, it was quickly redacted. So it was shown and then redacted, scrubbed from existence, removed. And what did they not want you to see? This. Digital dollar. Term digital dollar shall mean digital dollar wallet. Okay? In plain black and white, Pelosi plans called for the creation of a new digital dollar along with new digital dollar wallet. Once again, the elites are planning huge change to the foundation of our financial system. But this is coming quicker than we even know. All right? A new cash bill ripping through Congress. All right, so the very next day, this is a brand new Senate bill, almost identical and backed by a senator with close ties to the Clinton family, quickly surfaced. It's now going through Congress right now. It should be passed by the end of the year, maybe even before that. Okay, and what it means is if you have money in the bank, it is now going to be deemed as worthless, and what you're going to be getting is the digital dollar. Okay? Every American business is going to suffer. Every person is going to suffer. And get this is the worst of the worst. This is a brand new patent by Microsoft. This is the patent number. You can go and look this up yourself. I've done this already. Okay? The patent number is 666. I'm not joking. Came out on March the 26th. 3 days after Pelosi's bill saw the light of day. And it could allow the bureaucrats to roll out the digital dollar instantly. And it says, this is the title, Cryptocurrency System Using Body Activity Data. Microsoft has invented an embedded chip that can sense a person's movement, body temperature, heart rate, eye activity, blood flow, even our brain waves, in order to track all our body activity and transmit a digital currency wirelessly. Wow. Isn't that crazy? Right. So here's what we said in 2016. That was they said in 2016. Okay, so Visa recently revealed its brand new patent on electronic currency system that, I quote, causes the removal of the physical currency in fiat currency system. Causes the removal of physical currency. That's it. They're getting rid of the dollar. They're completely getting rid of the dollar. Okay? And this is the Better Than Cash Alliance with names like Coca-Cola, MasterCard, Visa, Ford, Citi. Guys, look at the list of Ripple's companies that it's associated with, okay? And you'll start to see where I'm going with this. All of this is joining the dot. Dot 3, ID 2020. Digital ID with vaccination. Look at that. Global partnership involving Gavi, a vaccination-focused alliance founded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, along with Microsoft and the Rockefeller Foundation. Wow. And its stated goal, which you can get right on its own website, is to compile e-passports, digital wallets, building access cards, debits and credit cards, banking information, transit passes, voter information, health records, all in one place for every person on Earth. Mark of the beast, guys. This is your digital ID attached to a digital dollar. And if they don't like you, if they don't like what you're saying, if you go out and buy some ammunition for your gun or you do something they don't agree with, well, guess what? They're just going to turn you off. You don't have access to your bank account anymore. You don't have any cash. Yeah? Guys, this is scary. You don't think it's coming? You think I'm talking bullshit? Well, go and look for yourself. We need the digital currency to help preserve the primacy of the dollar worldwide. Judy Shelton. All right? The most powerful organizations in our world are calling for this right now. And everybody is going to either be on the right side or the wrong side of history. It's going to happen, regardless if you want it to or not, regardless if you want to protest it, it's going to happen. All right? Social credit score is already in China and it's about to be rolled out as soon as this goes live. Okay? I don't think this crash, this little flash crash we've had, is anything more than just another way for the elites to scare people out of the right cryptos. Okay? I think they don't want you here. It's as simple as that. And unless you're in, I mean, he's talking about the hardest money the world has ever known. Well, that's actually Bitcoin, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, you can invest right now, not financial advice, I don't do financial advice on this channel, but you can invest right now in something like Bitcoin, right? And they cannot take it from you. It is in a private wallet. They cannot take it. It's not like the gold seizure where they can take it back off you. They physically cannot take it from you. And you can use it anonymously. And that is where the real crux of all this is coming from. Because they can now monitor everything you do. And they will. And they're passing laws right now to actually start monitoring your internet access. That's why you need to get yourself a VPN. Sort yourself a VPN because absolutely, it's more than desperate now. You need to do this, okay? Now, just to give you an example of how close we are. A few months ago, Sweden's Riksbank announced the launch of the world's first central bank digital currency, the e-krona. That's done. February the 20th this year, Sweden's now testing its digital version of the cash, the e-krona. In China, central bank is destroying bills and racing towards with its own plan to replace cash with a digital one. Well, of course, China be doing that before anyone else. Okay, that was 2020. It's now 21, guys. We're now in September, obviously. Next year, that's now. They are going to be launching that quick. India, overnight, he banned $500 and $1,000 rupee notes. That's the Prime Minister of India. $8 and $15 US. Bill Gates applauded the move. I think India will go digital quite quickly. The world as a whole will go cashless. Well, thanks, Bill. Right? Microsoft, Visa, they are going to make so much money out of this, and it's just criminal what they're about to do. You are going to lose your privacy in a way that hasn't ever happened before, other than Nazi Germany. Show us your papers. Well, that's exactly what's going to happen now, all right? So, yeah, they're talking about the final bit of this. They're talking about the investments that you could be making, but their investments that you could be making are pretty much no. Yes, you can buy gold. There is going to be a gold mania. I highly recommend that you do get some gold. However, it's hard to keep hold of, especially if the government does another one of their crazy crackdowns on it. But my biggest choice holding will be the currency which will benefit absolutely the most from this, and that's XRP. There is no doubt in my mind now that XRP is going to be stratospherically massive. And all of this, I believe the market is, I mean, this could sound crazy, but I think this was done because XRP was starting to rise. It's not about Bitcoin. It's not about Ethereum. It's not about anything else. It's about XRP. It's about XRP because they know that they've only got a short window to get people out before it takes off. Okay? They'll crash the market 50% to scare people out of XRP. They've bought the Bitcoin. You don't think that, the big banks are sitting on shitloads of Bitcoin, because they are, and they'll crash the market to get people out of the currency which they know could make them potentially billionaires. So do your own research. Please go and have a look at this report here. So go to caseyresearch.com. You can go and look it for yourself. And I wanted to just say that this is something that you should definitely be paying attention to. If you have cash in the bank, again, not financial advice, but if you have about 1,000, 500, 5,000, whatever you've got, if you're not using it, it's not going to go anywhere other than be destroyed once this new financial system comes in. So my advice, again, not financial, but my advice would maybe be to look at some cryptos to put it into, especially Nod Winchwig XRP. Okay? I'm going to play you one little clip before we go. I know this is a long video, but it's well worth it. So this guy, Ben Armstrong, if you've been in crypto for a while, you know who he is. He's the most popular YouTuber crypto channel. He hit the nail on the head when talking about XRP, I believe, in this comment. So have a listen.
What? Trading, perhaps?
For the past year, XRP was not available on most exchanges in the US, and its future was looking uncertain for a minute there. But as the trial progressed, the case has begun to fall apart. Now it seems that Ripple will be getting away with a small fine, and then we'll have full permission to continue working with banks and eventually go public. As we covered in previous videos, Ripple has existing relationships with banks around the world and a suite of products that allow banks to make international payments much more efficient than traditional finance. After years of being criticized by the crypto community for working with banks, Ripple is now fighting against the government in a case that could set a firm precedent that will likely end up shielding other crypto projects from prosecution in certain areas.
Right, I want to address this before I go. So fighting against the government, smoke and mirrors. They're not fighting against the government at all. This is going to be the new global financial system. XRP will be used for liquidity by the banks. There's no doubt in my mind, and after reading that research, it just solidifies it even more that this is going to happen. I'll say by the end of the year, I'll say that we'll start to see some real big fireworks by the end of this year, December. We'll see some fireworks for Ripple, for sure. All right? So hold on to your hats, guys. It's a crazy one at the minute. I wish you all the very best, and hopefully you enjoyed the content. Guys, really do smash up that like button. Help me build this channel. It's very small at the minute. I've got some good things to say, so get me up there. And I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. All right, take care. Bye.